By the way, this is not sponsored like all my videos. This is 100% genuine, so I'm not being paid for any of these products, so everything is my own opinion. This is the all-new crane fold. Let's check it out. Here's what's in the box. We've got a joystick leg, a one-piece wrist support, extendable hand grip with the same firm handle, adjustable, and with a 1/4 inch mount at the top. Camera mount support and a couple of bolts. All the cables as well as a gel cover. This is for the LED lights, I believe, for the top, which I'll go through a little bit later on. And of course, we've got the mount. Okay, so this is quickly detachable. So it just slides on like this and locks in. And of course, we've got the base mount, which then kind of slides out just like that. So this goes onto the gimbal, and you also have a step-up plate. So if you have a larger lens, a larger setup, so you would obviously put this straight onto your mounting bracket. And then finally, the gimbal itself. Ooh, it's a hefty little thing. This is the case that comes with. Put it to the side. I'm gonna mount everything onto it, and then we can go from there. The side grip, tripod leg on the side handle, and then the plate itself. Wow, there you go. Now, speaking of the quick release, one of the features this time is the ability to switch between vertical and horizontal shooting. So all you have to do is unlock and then just slide off the plate like so. Put it on the side, lock it into place, and you're good to go. So now you're in a much more comfortable position to shoot a vertical shot, right, rather than holding it top down. So this is much more efficient. Now to put it back into place, just as easy. All you gotta do is unlock, take off the slide, okay, and then just slide it back on. Just like that. Of course, you need to balance this slightly as you make changes, but overall, it is pretty easy. Okay, so from first impression, I think what they've done is they've combined the functionality or the features from the Weebill 3 and the Weebill 3S and combine it into a more compact professional gimbal, right? That's able to withstand a lot more weight. So what I mean, let's have a look here. On my left, this is the Weebill 3, and then over here, the Weebill 3S. I don't know if you can see, but let's look at the design first. On the bottom, we've got the original hand wrist support as well as the camera grip. So they've transferred that across to the crane. They've left this additional hand support, which is on the Weebill 3, as you can see here. And the reason for that is because there's extra batteries inside. And being a professional gimbal, you need the extra juice to support that long duration of shooting. That's what this is for. But they've upgraded the wrist support. Now, I really like this. In my previous reviews, I've highly recommend getting one of these. Now, speaking of the handle, they've kept the same design from the old Weebill 3, but they've incorporated the switch, right, from the Weebill 3S. Okay, so the Weebill 3S can do the same, okay? And the benefit of this is very simple. You know, if you're holding a gimbal long term, you want to hold it in parallel with both hands. You have a lot more support. Your whole chest is spread out. You have a lot more center of gravity. You can have both arms pressed against your chest for an even more stable shot. So this design is very good. This is also adjustable, so you can adjust the height. So if you want to do a top-down shot, you know, if you want to hold it like this, you can still do that. Now on the top, Weebill 3S has this as well. We do have a 1/4 inch mount, so you can mount your microphone, your receiver, your monitor, anything like that on top, so you can watch and monitor whatever you're shooting. At the same time, it's going to balance the weight out a little bit to the left, so even better. One thing I forgot to mention is the wrist support. Check this out. This is micro adjustment, just like on the Weebill 3S. It really counterweights the effect of having a really heavy camera on top. It just kind of makes it feel like it's a little bit lighter, but yeah, it's really good. Now let's move up. Cosmetic wise, I think we're very similar. The hand grip is very similar to the Weebill 3S. If we move up, we've still got the scroll wheel as well as the trigger. You are also able to control the temperature of the LED lights, which I'll go through in the test a little bit later on. We also have the power button, which is great. They've moved this up. On the front, we've got a bigger screen than the older models. We still have the joystick as well as the mode button and a record button. Now, given that this is the newer model, you are able to pair this through Bluetooth. Okay, so what that means is if your camera is compatible, so do check on the website, all you have to do is pair it through Bluetooth and you're able to shoot and record just by pressing this button without connecting any wires. So that makes it really handy and clean as well. And for the first time, this is a colored LED and it's touchscreen. So very intuitive menu design, okay? So quick access to mode, info, your settings, your balance, all the modes available, pan, follow, lock, follow, POV, go, and vortex. So let's put the camera on here and see how it behaves. Now, before I put it on, I had to theory test this. I think we're using the same base plate across all ZHIYUN gimbals. The Gimbal 3, Gimbal 3S, and now the crane. So this is actually from the Gimbal 3S, okay? So if you don't believe me, here, this is the Gimbal 3S. I want to show you. And it just goes on like that. Now, if I want to take it off, I'm going to switch, and there you go. Now I'm on the crane. So that's a really good feature and super convenient. And you can now switch between gimbals. Okay, if you have two gimbals, if you have two operators, you can now just switch cameras because you don't want to switch the lens. You know, you don't have to pre-balance it. Straight away, you can tell the clearance and the size of these two gimbals. Obviously, they're different class, but you know, if you have a bigger camera, bigger setup, there's no problem clearing your camera on one of these. But before we go into that, let's have a look at this new LED. This is a much bigger LED compared to the older, okay, smaller Gimbal 3. Is it better? Well, let's test this out. I'm gonna turn off the lights and let's see how well it performs. Wow, that is bright. Okay, so this is a lot more brighter than I expected. On my left is the crane, and this is obviously the Gimbal 3S. Let's look at the color, by the way. This is at 5500 Kelvin. This is at 5600 Kelvin. Very similar in terms of color because, you know, they do vary sometimes in terms of color accuracy between the LEDs, but it is within that pure white light range. Now, let's go down. And it goes as low as 27 Kelvin. So it's very warm right now. This is like tungsten light. And this is the same range on the Gimbal 3S. Now, in terms of brightness, let's have a look. So this is the Gimbal 3S at arm's length. This is what you see. Make sure to look at the harsh shadow as well, okay? And this, whoa, that's bright. Don't look at this straight in the eye. So this is the crane. So much brighter, you get a much more bigger coverage because it is a bigger and square LED. Now, one thing I want to show you is the hard edge, right? This is a very harsh light. Now, they do come with a gel filter this time, so let me put this on. Okay, so now you have a slightly softer light with the rubber gel at the front. Now, good thing about the rubber gel is they actually have some cushion, so some space between the LED and the rubber. So the more space you have, the more diffraction of the light, so the more softer it is. It is actually, for the first time, I think it's usable, whereas on the previous Gimbal 3, I think it's more of a, you know, emergency kind of use, whereas this time you actually can use this. Okay, if I look at the front, you've got the Vembran lighting, you know, the triangle. That's what you get. All right, so let's go to lock mode and let's try this. Okay, so I don't expect any problem with this, but let's just try. Okay, so let's go forward. Pretty easy. You know, we're gonna go all the way down. Okay, so the limit for the front is here. So, okay, so you've got this movement, and then it goes down to that, and then that's it, right? And then it's going to tilt downwards. Not quite sure why the movement is actually less than the Gimbal 3S. So let's try the left and right. Okay, so if you go to the left, it's here. And if you go to the right, you can go all the way down without any problems. Okay, and then to about here. Okay, so if you want to do a top-down shot, you know, you can't go down like this anymore, right? Because having the gimbal at the front is actually not stable. So what you have to do is go down from the side like this, okay? And just hold it like that. This is the proper way of holding it anyways. Have the gimbal at the back and then just go forward and back like this. But yeah, something to keep in mind, okay? Okay, so POV mode, okay? Let's go down. Very smooth. Okay, it has a very high deadband because I've set it this way. What that means is that I have a lot more buffer room, so little minute movements won't affect the direction of the gimbal. So it takes a little bit of while to kind of pick up my movement, but it gives a much more smoother transition. So let's try that again a little bit faster. To the left, sorry. Very smooth, okay? And then come back up. Pretty good. And for those who like to shoot portrait videos, all you got to do is go to settings and then go to portrait. There you go. Now you're shooting in portrait. Right now it's on follow mode, so it's following all directions. As you can see, it's going up and down. But if you want, all you have to do is hold the trigger. Okay, and now we're in lock mode. See that? We're in lock mode. And it's actually quite a lot of movement. So I can move up and down like this before the camera starts moving, and then left. Oh, a lot more movement. Here we go. About here, okay? So that's a lot of movement. And the gimbal's very strong. You can see I'm touching the camera, right? I'm moving it with my hand. This is not good for the gimbal, but double tap, we're centered as well, and we're back to go mode. And you kind of expect that for a gimbal of this size, this price, and how well ZHIYUN's been in the gimbal business. Okay, now finally let's go outside and test how stable this is. I'm going to use the same setup. This is Sony S3 with the 24-70 GM lens. We're going to go walking, running, and then we're going to test it in both 24 and 70 just to see how much vibration we can get. And I'm going to turn off the in-body stabilization off as well. Let's go. Okay guys, so let me know what you think. I've actually done the same test in the same environment with the Gimbal 3S. If you want to see the full review, go check out my other videos. But here is a side-by-side comparison with the Gimbal 3S. Obviously, these are two different class gimbals given the price range, but if you want to see, I'm happy to do a comparison of this gimbal with the DJI RS2. Unfortunately, I don't have the RS3 Pro with me, I only have the RS2, but if you want to see something like that, I can do a comparison for you, so leave it in the comments below. But my honest opinion, I think the Crane has really come a long way. My first gimbal was the Crane 2, and it was a huge metal heavy gimbal, but at the time, it was the only one I had. It was perfect for me. I used it everywhere, so it was very durable. But look how small it's become over the years, and it's really kind of embraced all the benefits from the Gimbal 2, Gimbal 3, and the Gimbal 3S, right? The gimbal, the algorithm have improved, the clearance is great, you're able to fit most of your cinema cameras, professional gear on one of these without any problem. And then you've got the wrist support as well as the handle. Oh, and of course the Bluetooth feature paired with your camera. So I think overall we're getting a fairly decent package, but for the time being, I think this is probably one of my most kept gimbals that I'm going to be using in the future. Okay, well, if you want to see more reviews, let me know. I'm George. Thank you for staying to the end. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.